You're listening to BizQuik. This is where Julie and Corey provide quick and useful information to small business owners. BizQuik is the podcast where small business owners get to showcase their businesses and receive expert advice and guidance in areas many entrepreneurs struggle with. And you, the listener, get solutions, tips, and tricks on real-world topics that many small business owners face. Julie and Corey are the experts small businesses hire when they need solutions. And the BizQuik podcast is just one way they deliver those solutions. Let's start the show.
Hello and welcome to BizQuik. I'm Corey.
And I'm Julie.
And on today's show, we have Joe Tjosvold. I'm going to totally butcher that until we get him on. But Joe T. He is out of Fargo, North Dakota. He is the CEO of Chezy, and he specializes in advertising and media and video production. But before we get him on, we're going to talk about our own experiences creating videos, advertising, etc. for our own business, because that's been quite an adventure so far.
It has. It's definitely a learning process. I think when we first started SB Pace, safe to say neither one of us were really comfortable making videos. But I think the more you do it, the less you hate it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's... I think it definitely takes a special type of person who enjoys making videos, and neither you or I really want to be in the limelight. So, just in general, so that's just one of those things. And luckily, you have been nice enough to take on the majority of those videos, and I'm slowly getting involved. And for me, it's more of a remembering to record videos rather than getting anything done.
Yeah, it's an interesting, there's so many different places you can use video, right? So obviously paid ads, and I think for, some big things that we've got coming up in the near future, having videos would be really good in terms of what we're like getting the messaging out about some of the things that we're doing and being kind of creative with our marketing. But we also have a YouTube channel, which requires a video, and then YouTube has shorts. And then we have, it would be really cool. There's an opportunity to put videos on our website that sort of, introduce SB Pace and who we are and what we do. And then we also have Reels, which we've recently gotten into. And thanks to our intern, Francis, can really sort of dial in and play around with Reels a little bit, but there's no part of it that I really love. Thank God we don't use video on our podcast.
Yeah, it's just a whole other thing, and I frankly, I don't understand it. Maybe that's why I've just got this mental block to videos, because if a website pops up and it's got the autoplay on the video, I immediately, I want to just leave the website. I don't care what they're selling or why I'm there. Like, I don't want to watch a video. I'd much rather just read the information, etc. And then, like, when we've gotten into the Instagram Reels, and this is something that I'm curious about, just because I'm still very, very, very new to Instagram, and I don't really know social media to begin with. But like some of the videos that we have, we get like single-digit plays on some of them, and then, Reels, and then other ones were in the thousands. And I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, well, one, it would be nice to know what's drawing people to certain videos versus other videos, but two, it's like, who's just spending their day just like flipping through these videos on Instagram? But I guess there's a market out there obviously for it.
Yeah, I don't get it. I really don't get it at all. Like, I try and look at, is it the way that they're named? What I've learned is that when you use a number in your title, it's really popular. So like we recently had 3 ways that jumping rope is a lot like being an entrepreneur. And it's like, it's like the dumbest topic ever, but I think it's our most popular reel ever. And quite honestly, the content was shaky at best, but people liked it. So I don't know. I'm very confused over it, and I agree. I don't know who has time to spend hours and hours on Instagram. I laugh when people are like, "Hey, why don't you?" It's almost like I don't know if I don't think you've watched the series Newsroom, but in season 3, there's this episode where the HR guy is trying to bust Olivia Munn's character, and I can't think of his name, or the guy she's dating on the show. They both work together, and they have a company policy where they're not supposed to be dating coworkers. And the HR person is like, hey, why haven't you accepted my friend request yet on Instagram? And that's what it reminds me of every time somebody messages me and says, hey, I sent you a request to join our group, or hey, did you see my comment that I put on your post? And I'm like, I didn't even make the post. Someone else made it for me, and I haven't been on Instagram in 4 days. But I can't say that. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm sorry. I meant to reply. So I just kind of laugh because I'm like, I don't even have time to go on there for 5 minutes, let alone scrolling. But our clients frequently ask if we've watched their stuff, and so I'm trying to get better about going out and looking at their stuff.
Yeah, it seems like it's. I mean, that's almost a full-time job, getting the. Because that interaction is extremely important. Like, it gives you credibility, but it also, it's that scratch my back, I'll scratch yours type of thing. So yeah, that's a whole other thing. And then just the guesswork that kind of gets involved. And maybe that's something that we can talk to Joe about when he comes on, in terms of the potential, the actual science behind why a number 3 in the title is going to be, just a number in general is going to be more attractive than something that actually adds value. Because that's one thing that always just bugs me, is that here's this fluff piece that everybody loves, and then here's this thing that actually delivers value, and people are like, meh, I'll go with the fluff piece.
Yeah, well, what's interesting is, you sort of, to prove your point, we had a reel that you did on process, and poor Francis, who puts our reels up for us and does the title and does all of the subtitles on them, she named it literally named the reel like how process can help your business, and it had like 1 view, and I'm like, we should probably change the title of that one, something that doesn't use the word process. And then she changed the title, and then it got like 80 views within like 30 minutes. Same reel, just removed the word process and made something much more ambiguous, and it's almost like clickbait. It's just ridiculous. Yeah. But yeah, we should probably wrap and bring Joe in and see what sort of knowledge he can drop for us on videos and how they can help your business.
All right. See you on the other side.
Hey, everyone. If you're like most entrepreneurs out there, time is not something you ever seem to have enough of. We get it. There are a million things that need your attention, both in business and in your personal life. That's why we created Time Bomb. This is a self-paced course designed to help you determine what your time is worth and where you should be spending those precious hours every day. Right now, we have an option to buy the bundle, which also includes products designed to help you become more efficient with your time. It's a $70 deal you're getting for only an additional $30. Head on over to sbpace.com to learn more. Time Bomb. Take control of your calendar, gain control of your life.
All right, and welcome back to the show. I have been corrected on Joe's last name. That's Tjosvold, not Tjosvold, or whatever I said at the beginning, but close enough. I got there. The vowel was wrong. But anyway, welcome to the show, Joe.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being on. We're excited to get talking about media and video and all of that stuff, because there's a lot of things that we're still trying to learn, and we know that you are an expert at that. But before we start, let's jump in with our first question, which I already forgot. So, Julie, it's all you.
Yes. So we, a couple weeks ago, started doing this randomized question thing. We have 10 questions, and Corey just picks a number, and that's the question that the guest gets. And so your question number 6, which is, what's the best advice you've ever been given?
I played football at a D2 college in Moorhead, Minnesota. And our head coach, after every game, I shouldn't say every game, but a lot of games, he said this a lot. And the phrase he said was, it's never as good as you think it was, and it's never as bad as you think it was. And he would say that if we lost by 50 to the national championships for D2, or if we won by 50, it's never as good as you think it is. There's always things to learn from it. Don't get too high, and then it's never as bad as you think it is. When you are feeling in the dumps, like there's a lot of positives to learn from. And I think as an entrepreneur, you kind of need to have that mindset to stay level-headed and continue to move forward. So
it's great advice. I actually think it's probably almost more important on the it's never as good as you think it is, because you can start to feel yourself pretty quickly when things are going well, and then just like that, with no warning, boom, like you're on Skid Row trying to figure things out again. So that's great advice. Nice job on that question.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
So we've spoken before because we were introduced via a colleague, and you've run us through your business, Chezy, which is a great model in the sense that for a small investment, both in cash and time, you can create a lot of videos, a lot of content for people for advertising purposes. And it's a small team, and the idea is that based upon whatever it is that the person's looking to get out of the videos, they can get, up to like 12 videos that they can use, or, possibly even more than that throughout the year. And it's just it's a really affordable way and interesting way to produce video content. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So Chezy's brand new company, started in January of this year. Before that, I was a director at another company that I owned, Advertise Edge, which is one of those award-winning companies doing amazing video work. But we came to a point, and this was August of last year, where we pressed pause on Advertise Edge, and we're like, hold up, something's not right here exactly, because there's not a lot of businesses that are able to produce affordable video content for small businesses to utilize. And that's when we started to really develop a new approach to creating videos. So for about 3 months, 4 months, that's what our focus was. It was Advertise Edge, take a back seat for a bit here. We're going to start focusing on how can we solve the issue of video prices being so expensive. Especially for nonprofits, small businesses, startups, whatever, to be able to afford that, but then also to have money left over for ad spend on social media, for upgrading your website. There's so much money, or so much things that a startup needs to, using their resources on that. Video marketing, they don't need to spend their entire marketing budget for the entire year on one video. So we developed a model to where it's not only a model, we're using a lot of tech to be able to even be sustainable. But what we're doing is we're doing 2 videos per month for 12 months. So a total of 24 videos is what we produce for our clients, and each one of those videos is $250 each. So total year's worth of video marketing consistently throughout the year is $6,000 instead of one video. With the more traditional approach to creating videos, one video might cost $5,000, $10,000, even up to $25,000 for that one video. So that's what we're doing with Chezy. Just our mission is to make videos affordable and solving that problem.
I was so close when I said 12 videos. Only halfway there.
One of the reasons we started SB Pace was because so many small business owners are priced out of getting really good help in many areas of their business, right? So this really addresses that in the very same way that we do, where you found a solution that is relatively easy to deliver for small business owners, but gives them the opportunity to kind of level the playing field with some of the bigger competitors that they have, and it doesn't burn their entire budget. Where, there are some companies that we've talked to out there where they're producing videos and they're charging like $25,000 for a single video, and it's like, who can afford that? Like that's more than our entire annual budget for marketing right now. That's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. The way we see it is, those companies that can afford that $25,000 video, great, go and do it. For the larger companies that that's their campaign video, they're going to run $250,000 of ad spend on that video. By all means, do that $25,000-$30,000 video
Yeah.
with a company kind of like our parent company, Advertise Edge, but they still need social content, and they're not going to spend $25,000 on each social media video that large company does. And that's where Chezy can also help the big companies as well.
Nice. So you can come in and you kind of refer, Advertising Edge refers business to Chezy, and you get
and vice versa. Yeah,
that's nice. That's a good business model.
It certainly is. And one of the things, so we've seen a few of your videos, and they're definitely, I mean, they're high quality, they're produced, they're worth every penny and then some. And that's something that I think a lot of people really need to realize, is that people understand if you're a small business, and people are not going to fault you for having a small budget and not spending $25,000 on a video, and nobody's going to look the other way if you're a small business and you don't have a Super Bowl ad worthy advertisement out there, but you also don't want to shoot it in your backyard with like your 1994 camcorder either. And because people notice that, unless that's the look you're going for. So I think it's really important to know that you do have to spend money, because people, I mean, they'll meet you so far, but we've all seen those crappy local commercials where it's like usually it's the local news or like a car dealership, and there's always a dog involved for some reason.
And a green screen, always a green screen. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. So you guys have been you made this pivot like last October, did you say?
Yeah, so our first pilot clients were in September and October, yeah.
Okay, and how has the market responded to this new service?
So we're based in Fargo, North Dakota, and a lot of the video production companies are just kind of writing us off, just assuming that we're not sustainable is the term that I heard quite frequently. Just because to them, they have zero idea how we're able to be profitable at those prices. And they just think, I've heard rumors that, they're just trying to undercut us on price point, which couldn't be further from the truth. We designed this model and developed this approach to not only work for our clients, but also work for us as well. So our competitors don't love us very much. But we've gotten amazing feedback from our clients that have done it in the past 5 months here. We've have 9 testimonials on our website, and they talk through their experience with Chezy, and also the amount of money that they think they're saving with Chezy over going with a more traditional approach. So a lot of positive reviews so far in our market.
Yeah, I was going to say, so how do your competitors feel now that your not sustainable company is kicking their ass when it comes to videos, right? Because you used the pilot program as a way to prove out the model, made some adjustments along the way, which, is the smartest possible way to release something new into the marketplace, right? So you tested it, proved it, and now you've got this opportunity or this option for small business owners that didn't previously exist. And you kind of, I'm guessing you are is Chezy, Chezy's kind of is it a subsidiary of the Advertise Edge, or they're two totally different companies?
Yeah, right now they're very closely related. A lot of our clients with Chezy have done Advertise Edge in the past. But going forward, that's why we have drastically different branding. We want to have it completely separated. It's still working together in ways, but not from afar. They don't look like they're related brands at all. And that's because it's such a different style of company from Advertise Edge. Yeah, we both do video, but the approach to Chezy allows us to do a handful of other things that Advertise Edge can't do very well. So with Chezy, for example, we can be plugged into other video companies. So like, let's say Advertise Edge, for example, we're doing $25,000 ads for these larger companies. But at the same time, we also, get asked questions for doing videos that we really don't want to be doing for this company. That's the smaller social media content. Well, that can simply be outsourced to Chezy and accomplish the exact same thing from these video companies.
That's awesome.
Yep. Go ahead.
Sorry. No, go ahead. Sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
So yeah, it's we don't want it. We don't want other video companies to obviously right now, being new, they're taken back and they don't love us very much, but soon we want those video companies to utilize Chezy because at the end of the day, companies can white label us and they don't need to charge what we're charging. So the clients or the customers that do white label us, they might be charging their clients double, triple, whatever it is, and they might be more profitable than we are on the project. We don't care, So we hope that video companies can utilize us as a tool for their clients.
Sure. So can you, so our primary audience is entrepreneurs and small business owners. And I think, can you help our audience understand the value of using video in their marketing and their advertising?
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest thing is just being able to communicate to a mass audience efficiently. I don't have the statistics memorized by any means, but the one statistic that jumps out at me is when you read a message, a paragraph, let's say, the average person is going to retain 11% of that message. But if that same message is in video form and people watch that video, the retention of that message goes up to around 90%. I think it's actually around 92% of that message is retained. Because at the end of the day, no one really wants to take time to read anymore. They just want a simple video, whether that's like a how-to video, for example, on YouTube or whatever. So I think the most value when it comes to video is just being able to communicate in the most efficient and effective way to a large audience.
There's going to be people out there who, despite everything that they've heard on this podcast today and everything they've listened, especially small business owners with limited budgets, they're going to try and go out and do their own thing. They're going to create their own videos. They're going to do all of that. What piece of advice would you give them when they're doing that, and knowing that hopefully at some point they're going to realize that they should just pay somebody to do this, but they're going to fail on their own first.
Yeah, if you're going to do this by yourself, because you can. I mean, iPhones and Androids, they have amazing cameras now. The biggest thing that you would need is lighting. You don't want a bunch of shadow on the face, like I currently do on one half of my face. But we call that Rembrandt lighting. So you see the triangle here. It looks badass. That's the type of lighting that we make on very dramatic style of videos sometimes. So yeah, lighting would be the first thing. You might be able to get a light or two for under $100. You might even use a lamp. For situations like this, what I could do is I could have just a $20 lamp to my left, which would light me up just fine for Zoom calls like this. So yeah, just understanding the lighting aspect. And secondly would be audio. You're going to need some sort of microphone to make sure you have a clean audio for your video. So whether that's you know, $20 to $50 lav mic that just clips onto your shirt, you know, it really helps out a lot to be able to hear the speaker clearly. So those are the two things that I would probably recommend the most, outside of, you know, obviously having that iPhone or Android or whatever.
So don't use the 1994 camcorder.
No. Use your phone. Use your smartphone.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. I've got some rework to do. I've got some things I have to re-record, but
what if in the bottom right hand corner it still had the date from, you know, June 2nd, 1994 showing?
Yeah, block it out maybe. put your logo right there.
Yeah, you know, though, what's funny is that's a very appealing look for videos on social media, is posting that retro sort of camcorder look, where it's, or not even camcorder. I would take it back further to like the old handheld, you know what I'm talking about? The like.
Are you talking about the ones that you need to crank yourself?
No, not crank yourself. I was just trying to think of my, you know, we have all these home movies from when I was a kid, right? And they're, you know, I can remember the camera that my mom recorded them on, and of course there's no sound, right? So it's just, you know, maybe my bully sister pushing me into a river, you don't know. But there's some appeal to a retro look on videos, though I'm thinking for, you know, what most people are hiring you for, they're not going for that retro look. They're really going for those nice advertising videos that help them either get their message across, video testimonials, the origin story of the company, or an advertising piece where they're selling their product or service.
Yep, absolutely. The main videos that we focus on at Chezy are going to be your brand storytelling video, kind of like the origin story of your company. Talks a lot about how are you different from all of the other chiropractors in town, for example. So that would be your brand storytelling video. Usually the subject would be the owner or executive team of a company. My favorite type of video is a client testimonial. I mean, it's like a Google review, but in a video form. A lot of people don't view written testimonials as authentic, because they think that the company might just write those in. So having a video and hearing a story straight from a client or customer's mouth of their experience with this company, talking about the problem that they had prior to working with this company, and then how this company guided the hero in the story, the customer, guided them to success. And that's why I love client testimonial videos. So we stress to do as many of those as we possibly can with Chezy. And then a lot of other ones, company culture videos. I don't know if you guys are having a hard time hiring in your areas, but there's a lot of companies right now that are just can't find people to hire after the pandemic. So company culture videos, you know, doing a lot of interviews with the employees of our clients, and then we kind of create this video of showcasing the culture and showcasing what it's like to work at that place. So yeah, those are just a handful of the videos that we can do.
Great. And back to those retro videos, unfortunately it costs a lot of money to make stuff look shitty nowadays. So,
isn't that crazy?
I know.
There's an app for that, probably.
Probably. Joe, we have to start wrapping up here. So if you could let everybody know how they can get in touch with you or find out more.
Yeah. So on our website, chezy.com, chezy.com. Go and check it out. So we got our portfolio on our work page. We have client testimonials. We have a lot of great resources on our website. You can click the button to do a free demo with me, and I can show you the full process of how we're doing things different than a more traditional approach. And also, I don't know where all your viewers are from, but we're able to work with any company around the United States. So do a demo with us, and love to meet you guys and show you how everything works.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Joe, and thank you to our listeners. You can find out everything you need to know about Joe in our show notes. And don't forget, if you want to work with us, reach out to us. Shoot us an email. Send us a message.
Send it via carrier pigeon, whatever you need to do. You can connect with us on social media. We're on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and we have a YouTube channel. You can also reach us on sbpace.com. That's our website.
Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. Like us, give us a review. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. That's it. Oh, and we got to reach out about topics. I fucked it up this time.
Yes,
reach
you
out
did.
About any topics you might want to hear, and if you want to be a guest on the podcast.
Yes. Also, we have a book. It's a #1 bestseller on Amazon, and pretty soon the book cover is even going to say it's a #1 bestseller. It comes with a digital companion workbook, and if you've already bought it and you love it, go ahead and give us a review. We really would appreciate the feedback.
That's it for today's show. I'm Corey.
And I'm Julie.
And this was BizQuik, helping small businesses across America.